All right, so what I do is you go to SCISPACE.com, and then on the left here, you can go to my library. And then here you can upload your files. So I uploaded my files, put them all into one. So here's my 3 or 4 articles. And then it'll spit out all this crap, but you can just click on the actual article that you're going to use in, and it reads it all. And then you can ask it questions like here, population and sample size. This is for our table that we have to do. So I'll come down here and I'll say, describe the population and sample size. Press enter, and then just like any AI thing, it'll kind of read it, but it'll read everything here, summarize stuff. And then I'll just give you all this stuff. This is like a whole page worth of information. So then what I did was I took out like the important bits that didn't sound like either too generated or not applicable. And then I went over here and just pasted it in here. And then I just went through every box of this and just did that for each article. And then after reading through her PowerPoint and like kind of having the idea of the rubric that she wants, then I would just come through here and like, all right, I'm going to pull this sentence and throw it in the paper. And then kind of describe in like very analytical terms how, Freeman et al., utilize, this sample size versus, a different type of sample size. And here it'll tell you like the benefits and why it is such a good thing that they did, or why it's a bad thing that they only had this many people. So you kind of come through these little sentences and you pick out the analytic side of it that's not really pertinent to the article. So like this sentence right here, this study leverages a substantial varied sample to support its like this second part of it. But this sentence, this part of the sentence here, the study leverages a substantial and varied sample that pertains to student outcomes. Maybe that's something you'd have, or right here's a negative to it, which is something analytical to do. Although the exact number of students might vary, it's still a robust, sample. That's something I would write in the paper in my own words, obviously. So that's what I did. I just kept asking it different questions. Here, what's the grade and level of evidence based on this thing that she wants us to do? And it just spat out all this crap, and I just went through and picked out what kind of made sense, what was analytical, but not looking at the actual parts of the paper, because we don't want to summarize the paper, basically. And you can just keep asking questions, but you do have to pay for it. So when you go to yearly, you save money. You pay it all at once. I just did this first premium one, I think, because it was $12 a month for a year. And then if you go and type in $60, it'll get you $60 off 144. So it was like $80 for the year of paying $12 a month minus the $80 at the end, or the $60 with the discount. So yeah, easy. That's how I did it.